off. I mean, if you pull that off, I think he's great. If you don't pull it off and you play him like a Xerath, you might as well pick Xerath.
So it's basically one of those champions that is like, you have to play at a really high level, and then the rewards are really high.
Yeah, I think when you play like a mid-range mage rather than a long-range mage, it can be really scary because you get so much value out of every skill in the skin. You get so many small little tweaks you can do when you do play him. So I think that's very important when you do pick him.
Okay, let's get into draft here for this second time. It is going to be 100 Thieves back on the blue side, so they're happy to stay in the same corner, as we do have Rumble, Talia, and Cassio banned out from them. Meanwhile, in the other camp, Team Liquid banning out the Yone, the Silas, and the Vibe. First pick of this one is the Kalista. I feel like this is a champion that we always see on ban list, but Team Liquid was happy to let it through.
We got to see it yesterday as well. Actually, Sven played it, and we saw the answer that TL brought out against it was actually Corki and was it Corki and Nautilus? I think it was Corki and Nautilus, I believe. But obviously Corki's off the table. What's your take, as far as Kalista and the strength of her in the meta right now?
I think Kalista is just a really strong champion that facilitates AP junglers really well. So if you have a strategy of playing an AP jungler with Kalista, securing those first drops, securing the second drops, because she is the queen of those kind of skirmishes. There's no AD carry that can really match that. Plus, I think she has insane lane top strength. She's one of those AD carries that does not need much help power diving any top laner. Even if you have a really strong top laner on the side lane like Asante, Kalista usually manages to take her out. Really interesting to see from 100 Thieves slamming the Ambessa. Like I mentioned, they didn't pick it into Asante last game. They wanted to keep it open because they wanted a game without Asante in it to enjoy Ambessa.
So they've got the Ambessa, they've got Renata next to Kalista, which is a long time Kalista partner. Yeah, we do have the Zyra and the Sejuani both locked in for TS.
This is actually so spicy. I love this. You can go both Varus, and you can play even like double combat bot lane, and really just utilize the range advantage over the Kalista. Kalista obviously incredibly powerful in all ins, but Renata requires getting pretty close to hit that handshake. It's not like you're playing with an Alistar that is that guaranteed go button. So I actually think this is a really intelligent answer, and it's potentially taking out another pick that Umpty wouldn't want to play in jungle for later on, right? So I think it's like kind of double whammy. It's kind of brilliant.
It is really brilliant. Also, Ambessa is a touch for 100 Thieves. They've shown to be able to play mid lane, and there's something that they're willing to do. So now you've also not just removed it from next games, but also in this exact draft. Because maybe, River would have been looking for this on the 4-5.
Well, we do have some interesting stuff so far in this one. I'm really liking what we're seeing. Team Liquid also, you know that they're happy to get Sejuani for Umpty. Throughout Umpty's time in North America, he has been known as a Maokai and Sejuani merchant a lot of the times. His best performances on these tanks, on these meatballs. He got Maokai in the first one, he gets Sejuani here in the second. TL fans are happy to see him on these picks.
Well, and I just think it's so interesting because we were talking about this off camera, but last time these two teams played and 100 Thieves won, their strategy was actually taking away the comfort picks from Umpty. So game 1 was a Maokai, game 2 was a Sejuani, or vice versa, I can't actually remember, but River was the one playing those tanks and forcing Umpty on some of the junglers he's less comfortable with. So this time around, they're prioritizing other things and allowing Umpty to have comfort.
I think it's really interesting that they decided to go 4-5 with the mid jungle or with their top laner. They're banning out Jax from 100 Thieves side in game playing, which is what they used yesterday to counter the Ambessa, which I was super surprised with. Honestly, I think it's awesome they gang playing soft side, but Ambessa, I wouldn't have had the balls to play that, so props to there. That said, no Renekton then means I think they're pressuring for a lane swap here. If the Renekton comes through at 4 and the Ambessa is going to go top lane, which is something that is commonly agreed on is playable. Most teams still look for lane swap, but especially with Varus Zyra being such a bully lane, you definitely don't want your Kalista and Renata to get stuck in that lane. So the lane swap situation is going to be really important for them to use this game.
So I've heard you talk about, Ambessa playing Grasp as kind of a way to, bridge the gap in that early game to get towards the late game. Is this one of those matchups that you would expect to see Grasp in against Renekton?
100%. I think that once you get to the first item as Renekton and nothing crazy's gone, happened in the early game, Ambessa should be able to take over. Now, obviously, we don't know if this is actually going to be Ambessa. No, it looks like it will be Ambessa top lane.
Nocturne, the knock wave.
That is a very interesting combination of champions. It makes sense. I mean, you do one-shot the Zyra and or the Varus. Now, obviously, whether you know the combo or not, I'm assuming that you've been practicing, you do need to know how to do it. I would hope so.
That's true of most champions in League of Legends.
This is really scary, because when the lights go out and one of your carries gets one-shot, you still have to worry about the Ambessa still lurking in the shadows. So I'm really excited for this comp, actually. It makes a ton of sense. Also, APA wants to be playing some control mage, some kind of character that kind of sits safe in the back. Opposite to the Nico, but look at their bans. They've had Silas, Akali, and Aurora. They really didn't want to have to pick a champion that had to get in there and fight.
It's so interesting because, while Zyra is always really susceptible to getting one shot by dive, by the same token, if Zyra gets plants out, gets the ult off before she dies, it doesn't really matter. She's kind of done her job. And when I look over at a Zyra, when I look over at a Nico, the potential for counter engage is quite high. So I feel like the 100 Thieves aren't really on point point with that initial blow, that's going to be tough.
I 100% agree with you. Also on their end, they're going to have to be super careful about the Central and the Bottom Soul, because if they get engaged on first, counter punch is really lacking on Orianna Nocturne's side if Orianna can't get the ball under.
All right, one last thing before we let you go. Who do you think has the edge in this second draft?
I personally think if 100 Thieves successfully gets a good lane swap off, I give them the odds, because I do think Kalista Renata into the Renekton is a very easy way to set up the game for both side laners. That said, TL has something cooking in the early game and manages to match those lanes. I expect them to drive their winning lanes into a lot of objectives and a lot of wins.
All right, that's what we'll keep an eye on. Thank you again, my friend, once more for your insight into the game. I look forward to seeing you back here again later on. But for now, it's time to head back onto the Rift. The Orianna Nocturne combo, the massive, just intercontinental ballistic missile of you don't get to play the game for an immobile carry. It is a good name. I like that.
Yeah, I'm trying to start something here.
Hey, I respect it. Pot of Grubs didn't really catch on for me. People didn't like the pot.
I like Pack of Grubs more. I don't even know why.
I don't even know why I said pot the one time. I'm pretty sure it was actually just my brain misfiring, but then I ended up liking it. But we do also have the, like you're talking about the Zyra, even if she dies, right, as long as you vomit all your spells onto the ground, you're still effective.
Exactly.
But also Nico is
the real carry is the plants.
So good against this like limited range of like Ambessa's gonna dive in, Nocturne's gonna dive in. Kalista's a short range AD carry that likes to get scrappy, and we know that APA is very familiar with Nico. We know that he is not a Nico tourist. He can find the angles on this champion
got his
to
Nico
really
green
hit
guard.
those big ultis.
He lives there.
And so I'm curious if he'll be able to find those big clutch entries into the fight.
Yeah, I mean, it is really all about that. When you're playing Nico, that's the name of the game, right? This champion without an ultimate kind of just sucks in a 5v5. Like, if you hit a multi-mana route, sure, you can get some stuff done, but it is really so much about playing around your ultimate, because sometimes you can come into a fight and you force 3 flashes with your ult, and it feels really good, but then you instantly lose the fight because you don't really contribute anything else. So it's like, it has to be on point, but they do have some pretty good setup, and while their initial engage is really kind of just down to something like a S1 ult, unless there's a flamethrower coming in, their follow-up is so strong. Chains of Corruption, the root from Zyra, the knockup from Zyra, the point-and-click stuns from Renekton, the root from APA, the knockup from APA. So like Bubba was talking about, if any of these squishy characters over on the other side do get tagged by one of those initial stuns, you're probably not moving again before the screen turns around.
And I like what Bubba was talking about too with this lane swap for teams, because I think you guys were exactly right talking about, okay, well, you're going to play Kalista Renata. If you just want to be like the in-your-face angry bottom lane that's going to put the pressure on you, your Zyra plan, sorry dude, don't play the game.
But yeah, exactly. And they're just outranging it, right? It's double comment, like I was mentioning in the draft. That's what I expected. It's going to be double comment, and you're just getting E'd by Yon, and you're just getting plant poked over and over by Zyra, and you're not really being able to get in range. You're kind of just slowly getting whittled down. Maybe you can get the push and kind of control that way, but it's hard in that straight-up 2v2. Little update about what the delay is on stage. If you saw the tweet, Yon's glasses broke yesterday. They got them repaired. They just broke again. So they're trying to fix his glasses. Hopefully they can get them all good, because I don't think he can see very well without them.
Yeah, that's a pretty major handicap to have your AD carry not being...
It works though if you win this play. Like, I couldn't even see, bro.
It's one thing to pick blind. It's another thing to play blind.
Yeah, I mean, his glasses aren't on, so I don't know if someone grabbed them from him and they're going to try to fix them. I don't know if he's got some backup contacts. I'm not sure, but that's what happened. Unfortunately, they re-broke, so... I mean, I'm not gonna lie, that's tragic. I've never actually had my glasses break when I was traveling. I did one time, right when I was about to go to Worlds, have my glasses break the day before I was traveling. I literally just took them off my face and they just snapped in half. And I was like, what? What just happened? Like, it would just, you know, hit the point of expiration date there. So I had to go all over the city looking for the ones that fit my lenses, because you can't get lenses fast enough, right? So you have to find the exact same frame. So they are here working hard. This is some glasses surgery going on. I went to a bunch of different stores, was able to find the exact same pair of frames and pop my lenses in.
Looks like that's what we're doing here. We've got a bit of a lens transplant.
Glasses surgery. We've got some specialists.
Yeah, Godspeed specialist.
So it's a rocket surgeon. He's on staff for situations like this.
Yeah, we got to make sure that we're ready to go. We got the foam light. It's an emergency.
Force.
Here on the sidelines.
So you don't know about the rocket surgeons from the Space Force?
They're the best of the best.
They're the best of the best.
Absolutely elite. The best people. Absolutely ready to go.
That's all we have on staff.
Yep. And now it looks like we've. All right, we're removing something. Or maybe we're. No.
It almost looks like there's two glasses there. Maybe it's like a heart transplant.
No, that's what I mean. Like it looks like they're lens transplanting maybe into a new pair.
But what if they don't have the right frames and they're not going to fit?
Oh yeah, I guess that's true.
You know, what if the donor doesn't take like the audio?
Oh yeah, it's like a kidney or something. You got the wrong lens.
And they only have two of them. It's pretty good in comparison, you know?
Yeah.
It's only a kidney. Sucks if you lose your kidney. And the guy's like, sorry, bro, just can I have the other one?
My bad.
But I need one too.
This is I never even thought about this as a problem before because I've never worn glasses myself. I've had a lot of people tell me that I should.
Oh, that's true. Yeah, I've heard you before. We're like looking at the prompter and Flyer's like, this thing is way too small. What are they doing? And I'm like, that's normal text size, brother. I can read that just fine.
Yeah, I think at least like we got multiple producers here at the LTA, LCS in the past. I think probably all but one of them at some point or another has told me to get glasses before, but never actually gone through with it. But I never really considered what happens when they do break in the middle of just one of these.
You know what? I
I
don't know if I've seen it happen before. I wonder what his prescription is. Maybe we can donate him a pair, you know? Maybe I cast blind and he has my glasses.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm willing to do that for the fans. I'll just say stuff.
Yeah, do you have the same eyeballs as us?
Well, do we have the same prescription?
I'll just tell you what's on the map, and then you just say that that's important.
Oh,
for the
you just say something, I'll go, hell yeah, brother.
Yeah, that's all we got to do. We'll do the hell yeah, brother cast of a play-by-play and a guy who can't see. That'll be a ton of information.
Well, I can just be a second play-by-play, but I won't be able to see, so I won't really be able to contribute. But I'll be like your hype man, you know?
Oh, you should do the Korean style of multi-play-by-play. Do the sound effects.
I was figuring, I'd just like repeat what you say. So you're like, get someone with the mystic shot, I'll be like, mystic shot!
Yeah, there you go. Exactly.
Yeah.
You highlight the ability name. You make the sound effect when somebody dies. Do like a big like if somebody gets popped and you just can't
believe
believe
your echo. You call it the triple kill. Triple kill.
Oh, I thought you meant like echo, like the character, like you were gonna be shadowing me. Well, but technically that is what you're doing. Yeah, that's my 4-second shadow. Yeah, I'll take that. Okay. Looks like everybody's kind of just chilling. Poor JJ, deep in thought. I don't know what he's thinking about. Maybe his teammates.
Damn. He played that last game pretty well.
I mean, he did. Everybody play that game pretty well.
I will say, all jokes aside, though, these kind of situations are obviously tough for both teams because you really do need to stay focused. It is such a mental game. And a best of 5, you can be here, a couple hours before, getting ready, talking about Pikmin, doing all these things. And then the series is going on for quite a long time, especially if you're getting all the way to Game 5. And you've got to be so locked in, so mentally ready, because if you do fumble in one of those big moments, that can be everything you've worked towards that entire split out the window like that. So a lot of the players, you can see some of them eyes closed. They're kind of doing a little bit of a meditation thing.
Right.
Others, chat and joke around. They just do whatever works for them. Everyone has their own kind of little rituals and ideas of how they can best stay focused.
I remember even just talking to different players when I first joined the pro scene in LCS back in 2017, and just seeing how different players handled going into a big match. Some guys would be listening to pump up music, they'd be getting real hype, walking around talking to their teammates. Other guys would go sit in a conference room by themselves, in total silence, pure meditation, just to try to find that zen zone.
Exactly. It's whatever works for you. I was always, when I would go to tournaments, I was a music guy. I listen to music as long as they would let me until they forced me to turn it off, because that is what kind of how you get comfortable. Have an update. We asked for what Jan's prescription is. He doesn't know. So
what do you mean he doesn't know?
So the donation angle may be difficult. Might be kind of like one of those try-on angles. Everyone here in the crowd who has glasses go up, and we see if the slipper fits kind of deal.
We're gonna Cinderella this.
We're gonna Cinderella it.
Jan is Cinderella, and we need to find his Prince Charming with glasses.
Yeah. Maybe how cool would it be if he's just got a pair of stun of shades, some crazy glasses that are the ones that work.
Okay, so I always kind of thought that glasses were sort of like shoes for the other side of your body, where it's I don't know anybody that doesn't know.
I feel like a hat is more like a shoe for your head.
Well, no, but not everybody, like, there's nobody who needs a hat to, like, function in day-to-day life.
Say that as someone who lives in, like, Siberia, brother. You'd be
Okay,
freezing
well,
to death.
okay, sorry to offend the Siberian Championship Series in the middle
Sorry
of
to everyone flowers just offended in Alaska.
Yeah, sorry to the fucking people watching outside there in Siberia. That's my bad, that's my bad. Beep, 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 beep. But we have the, how do you not know the glasses prescription? It's like your shoe size. Everybody I know knows what size of shoe they wear, right? What size of shoe do you wear?
11 and a half, I think.
Okay, I'm wearing 11, so we have very similar shoes. I feel like if one of our shoes broke, we could give the other guy our shoes.
Probably could, but to be fair, sometimes, you know, clothes, you have like a medium jacket, you're like, wow, that fits me pretty well. And then you have a large jacket, you're like, this jacket's too small.
Yeah, that is fair.
You know?
But I feel like clothes are made more differently. Like sometimes
They are. I'm just kind of just giving you trouble, to be honest.
Yeah, but I mean, like shoes, I feel like glasses probably got to be pretty standard.
What
right?
if brand to brand, every prescription is different? You can't prove me wrong because you don't wear glasses.
Yeah, I guess that's true. Honestly, this is
They're the same.
This is the proving you wrong in this completely worthless analogy is the most compelling argument that I've had yet to actually try and wear glasses. Just so I can come back and say,
You don't actually wear them, you're like, I wouldn't have got glasses.
yeah, it's like, oh God, I'm just
I respect that. You know, that's the kind of level of petty that I really aspire to be.
Okay, so let's see. I'm looking at Twitch chat right now. I've seen a lot of people actually say that they don't know their prescriptions for their glasses. Apparently this is a more common thing.
Well, if you've had the same prescription for a long time, you kind of just, you know, it's
Wait,
around there.
do your eyes like evolve? Or I figured
Your eyes get worse, brother.
Wait, really? I thought once you got glasses, it was kind of just like, hey,
You're locked in.
that's your glasses.
Nope.
Really?
Most people's eyes keep getting worse. And like if you want to get LASIK or something, your eyes actually have to, prescription has to stay stable for years before it's really even worth getting.
Isn't LASIK where they like shoot you with a laser beam in the eye or something?
Exactly that, yeah. You
What?
can do it at home. Just buy a laser. No, don't, just kidding.
No.
Don't sue me.
This is not medical advice. Do not depend on this.
I'm not a professional rocket surgeon like the people we don't know with glasses.
Do not go for that. We don't.
But yeah, no, your glasses prescription can change pretty regularly. For a lot of people, it keeps changing. Pretty much all the way you get real old.
No kidding. I always thought that was just because everybody in my family except for me wears glasses, and so I figured that they all just have like
Just get one pair.
You go to the
You
glasses.
just go to the glasses store and you get a pair of glasses and you're with you for life. It's like, you know, one of those animals that only has one mate for life.
Yeah.
You choose your glasses. Actually, better example. It's like the Harry Potter when they go and they get the wand, you know?
Oh, and you have your wand for
Exactly. Same thing with glasses. There's like a spiritual connection between you and the glasses. Really, the glasses choose the blind person.
But you're telling me it's actually more like hermit crabs, where they just like you pick a glasses for a while and you're like, yeah, this one's
Am I the shell? In the situation?
No, your glasses are the shell.
Glasses are the shell. I'm the
Glasses are
crab.
the shell. You are the crab.
Yeah, same glasses.
And so I'm pretty cool. Really? We get to play?
I wonder if they have the same glasses.
I don't know. I actually can't. We were too busy just yapping. I wasn't paying enough attention to what his frame looked like.
Unfortunate.
Well, the important part is
We've had a constructive conversation. We've learned a lot. I'm sure chat has too.
this was very important. Yeah, I learned a lot about glasses. I learned that apparently you don't just get a pair and they
We're resuming
work.
the game, brother. It's time for some League of Legends.
Let's do it. All right. Let's do this.
Lock in, Flowers.
Let's
Lock in.
play.
Focus up.
All
Focus
right.
up.
Ladies and gentlemen, if you're just now joining us, welcome back to the LTA Finals. Welcome back to game number 2 of Team Liquid versus 100 Thieves. Game number 1 was a real strong showing for TL. 100 Thieves trying to bounce back in this one with the knock wave combo that bazooka into the back line of TL.
Yes, sir. They're going to be looking for it, and we'll see if they can pull it off. Nocturne becoming very high prio even in Syracuse these days. I do think it's quite a strong champion, but it is one of those champions that is so ultimate-based. Obviously, I talked about that for Nico, but really the ideal Nocturne game is farm until you have that ultimate ready. But you can see Jan and Ayla, these guys have some history over the years. They did proving grounds together. They were able to win there. There's 2025. I love that gift, by the way. 2025 split finalists. They have been around and together for quite a long time. You know, fighting against each other and with each other a lot over the years. So it's just kind of cool to see this story now facing off here on such a big stage.
And speaking about the face-off in the bottom lane, always worth noting when we have like those differences in some of these spells, I like to keep track of it, just make a quick note of it in case it makes a huge difference. It is the cleanse for FBI, really respecting just how easy it is for him to die if he gets caught out by Core JJ in the lane, or even as the game goes on. You already talked about how, yeah, if you get hit by anything, there's so much follow-up CC, but then over on the other side, just the barrier for Yawn to guarantee the extra safety if they try to all in with the Callista Banana.
This is actually really nice. River is on the Raptors right now. He's taking those away, so UMT is basically pushed out because he was going to kill the Raptors before he could kill the red buff, so he would get level 2 and then come and fight him while Ayla was harassing. And they do have this lane swap set up here. The Sniper heading to that bot side. Sniper got no experience. Ouch. So he got none of the experience off the first 2 melees. Didn't take too much damage, so at least it's not like a disaster. If you lose a lot of health and don't get the XP, you are very sad. You know, Impact is kind of sneaking around the side, trying to hover here. Is level 1. Does he have E level to actually stay safe? He does, so he's waiting for the cooldown.
Yep, just gets the extra slice back, jumps over the wall. He even managed to slice through River, so he would have the extra cast of the dice.
They're thinking about diving, though. This is what Bumbo talked about, one of the strengths here.
Okay, Impact still just trying to escape. 5 seconds left on the slice. Completely zoned away from that wave. Cannot participate in this whatsoever, as UMT has made his way into the enemy jungle to farm that red quadrant.
And now we look down the bot side and see what is happening there. What is the reaction from TL? Can they actually push Sniper off? And I'm going to think the answer is no. Sniper is getting harassed, or tanks out the power shot or 2 there, but Sniper, even if he doesn't get the farm, he's getting all the experience, where Impact is just completely harmless. Impact is looking for anything, man. Anything he can get. Sniper still just on the 1 CS. That's okay, because he is going to be getting towards level 3 here very soon.
One more than Impact has.
That's actually an infinite CS lead.
Yeah, it's trouble for Impact up here, and he's going to go ahead, teleport up underneath that top lane tier 1 turret. He did have most of an EXP bar that he got earlier, so it does mean that he only needed that first minion to hit level 2. So as soon as he arrives, now he can start picking up a couple of minions. Both top laners getting the authentic lane swap experience.
I actually think it's a really good TP, but it looks so funny because he like didn't even base, didn't even have anything to buy. He just gets zoned off and then has to TP 4 feet back. Yep. It's the only way he can get back to that tower and soak experience. But if you let them zone you off forever, you're never gonna get back. And mid lane, Quid could be in some trouble.
Ooh, nicely done there with APA. Strangle Thorns into the blooming blows. That last pop would have taken Quid out. He has to flash away to guarantee his own life.
Yeah, going to be able to survive for now. But up on the top side, the wave was actually pushing away from Impact. They are thinning it out, so we'll see. Yeah, it looks like they're not going to try to hold the freeze. They're just going to thin it out, push it back. And even with all of the damage reduction on these towers these days, they still almost took a plate. The TP's going to be coming in. We're going to see if APA can find anything here in River.
APA trying to stop the continued invasion of his own jungler, but right there, APA forced to spend his flash.
Ouch.
You go in point blank with a Nocturne like that. This isn't last game. You're not 10,000 gold up. You're not in a place where you can just make these very audacious moves, and APA gets punished early.
Yeah, I think his thought process was UMT would come down and we would kind of pincer him, right? And then we'd collapse on him, but UMT stayed on the camp, so maybe a little bit of miscommunication in that spot. UMT obviously already down on camp, so maybe feeling, you know what, I actually can't afford to move away from this. River is going to win the smite, but a lot of the little ones are going to go to UMT, so still getting most of the gold. But at the end of the day, yeah, APA TP's back, loses his flash, loses half his health, has to immediately go back to base, so that sucks.
Well, the one nice part there is at least because APA nearly got that solo kill on Quid, the flash timers are pretty well synced up. It's not like he's just totally down that flash, and now as soon as level 6 hits, it's Orianna flashing in range for the insta.
He lost his glasses, but he already broke the other guy's glasses first.
There are no glasses available in mid lane.
No
Everyone is farming blind, waiting for level 6. It's a no eyesight fight.
Yeah. It's just how all my solo queue teammates play. It's just every single one of them.
Eyes off. Jesus, take the wheel.
They've been practicing that for 10 years.
Clicking on stuff. That's the way you play League of Legends.
That's
right
a League of Legends right there.
Ready to go. Down here in bottom lane, at least the top laners are now getting to enjoy playing League of Legends themselves again. Now they're back in a non-1v2 situation. Sniper with the slight lead, excuse me, in that.
All the top laners complain about it, but you gotta know what it is to be poor before you can appreciate being rich. All the top laners, they know what it is to be down in the dirt.
This is, you really got to appreciate being poor. Okay, Coach AJ is not appreciating the aggro coming out here from FBI. Corver the flash away. So many spears in his back. Does not want to allow FBI the opportunity to rend those out. Even if it doesn't kill him, it would put him down so low on HP, there'd be no way to continue playing it. Umpty going to secure the first Void Grub here as he and APA are ready to try to fight back against River, who now no longer has his spell shield, but he's right on top of APA, who tried to get away with a clone. Strangled barbs onto 2 targets, but it's not good enough. 100 Thieves with the first blood, and they might just be able to secure some more. Nicely done as Umpty tries to Arctic Assault back over the wall, but beautiful job from River guaranteeing the kill. It's 3-0 100 Thieves in the early part of the game as Sniper solo kills impacted bot 2.
Exactly at the same time, he's able to get the solo kill down to bot. Didn't even need his ulti for it. I'm not sure if he got the ulti off of the kill on a level up, but takes him down. That is big. Nocturne 2 kills. Sniper a kill on the side lane, picking up where he left off, and we're going to watch this one more time. He was already chunked down very low, and kind of just overstayed his welcome and realized, oh god, like I actually can't get out. Sniper getting that kill is massive. Golden Blue pumped up. You gotta be, because you want to get that momentum back after that game number 1, where TL ran away with it. This time, it is going to be 100 Thieves that are set up for success.
Flashback to 24 hours ago. Remember that when 100 Thieves was playing against FlyQuest yesterday, it was a very similar situation. FlyQuest stomping game number 1, and then 100 Thieves bouncing right back and hitting them in the jaw.
Exactly, and Sniper was massive for the team. He was the biggest difference in expectation versus reality for me during the semifinals. Really stepped up, played a great series, and now in the second game, gets an early kill on the Mbessa. We know what this champion can do from ahead. There's a lot of squishy targets over there. You hit Varus with the public execution, Zyra, Nico, you get in there, you can really make some magic happen.
And after what Whippo said at the end of the draft, comparing this to yesterday, I'm getting kind of similar vibes to that game too as well. Because yesterday we were saying 100 Thieves, they have to execute. Because if they don't, FlyQuest at that time, Team Liquid now, has the answers. And so far in this early game, game number 2 today, here in the finals, 100 Thieves is executing. We'll see if they can manage to find those combos with the knock wave like you were talking about.
Yeah.
But right now it's Team Liquid overloading the top side, looking for the wombo combo here on Sniper's Mbessa, but the lights go off, and River jumps in to see if he can get something in return instead. He manages to get the fear on Yon. He won't get a return kill, but honestly, saving Sniper was the whole goal.
Yeah, exactly. That's really big. And even with the lights turned off, Yon was able to actually hit Sniper with the piercing arrow. Wouldn't have had vision of him. That's all the practice without the glasses right there. It was calibrating.
We're really just going to keep the glasses all the way to the
I'm sorry, I couldn't help it. I'm done. Oh man,
we're in the glasses realm now. River wants APA on this one. Does manage to track down the real deal as APA will not be able to get out of that one there with a root. Nicely done from River, utilizing the spell shield. APA thankfully does have the flash, so the root might not have got it done, but the summoner spell keeps him safe. Meanwhile, bottom lane, Ayla and FBI putting the pressure on Impact, whose Renekton is not doing the greatest so far in this game.
Yeah, definitely having a little bit of trouble. You know, obviously got zoned off, was put down in XP, then gets solo killed. Now going to be sent back to base, but he does have the teleport, so should be okay to be able to go top side and collect all of that wave. Also, really nice just to be able to take off the flash from APA. Obviously, he lost his flash on the initial TP.